Welcome to Now More Than Ever, Unicity International. You know, one of the people who influenced my life greatly, whether he knows it or not, said this. I want you to listen to this. You can get anything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want in their life. Think about those words and think about what you're doing at Unicity. You have something that they need. You have something that they really desperately want, and they may not know it yet. We have it in our power to make their life better. You have that in your power. It may not be easy, but do not pray for an easy load, pray for a stronger back. So our business at Unicity is to make more leaders, not followers. I mentioned that last week. Make leaders. Elevate your vision, lengthen your stride. What are you doing today that you didn't do yesterday? What can you do tomorrow to add to that? I remember Stuart used to teach 3-3-3, 3 calls a day, 3 new contacts a day, 3 meetings a week, and 3 new recruits a month. Yet when I taught that in the various countries in Asia, they said, no, it's not 3-3-3, it's 10-10-10. And those of you who heard the recording of Stuart before the meeting, for Stuart it was 300, 300, 300. So elevate your goals, elevate your vision, make more leaders. I've watched you. My phone rang several times today. New leaders, recruiting new leaders, former leaders, coming back, tenured leaders, signing people up. Our recruiting has been up for the last 4 months significantly. That creates more sales. Now, one of the leaders we can hear from today is a remarkable, delightful woman named Kathy Droze. Kathy Droze, presidential director, been here 7 years, was a star in our transformation program, the transformation program that is being reinaugurated better than ever. She's from Atlanta, which means she speaks Southern. But she was born and raised in Massachusetts, so she's bilingual. She can speak Rebel, she can speak Yankee. You've got a lot to learn from her, so with no more from me, let's welcome our host, Kathy Droze. Thank you.
Thank you, Clayton. I used to, when I got transferred down here, I used to go, I'm a Yankee, I'm proud of it. So thank you so much, you're very gracious. So before we get rolling here, let me give a big shout out to Aaron Weber for his fabulous training last week. And I just have to say, Clayton, you know, it's a hard act to follow. So thanks for putting me behind Aaron Weber. But if any of you missed his training, you need to go online, you need to click the replay and listen to that because, you know, as Aaron Weber's legacy is, his trainings are fabulous. So, I guess it was about 40 years ago, my son's 40, so that my midwife actually introduced me to the power of supplementation. And I have to say that it has influenced my life's journey in many, many ways. And one of the things that I learned repeatedly is that all supplements are not created equal, and there is a lot of junk out there. There's a big difference between what is in a product and what is absorbed and actually used by your body. So one of the reasons why I flew to Orem, Utah 7 years ago and was because I had to see for myself a nutritional supplement company that had patents, that had accomplished having their products vetted and having them published. Incredible. I mean, at that time, 12 products listed in the physician's desk reference. Now we're just 7 years later and we have 17. We've gone from 12 to 17 products in the PDR in just 7 years. So we really are the world's leader in metabolic health. So with all that said, let's go to the meat of this call with our director, Unicity's Director of Research and Development, Mike Saunders. Now, last year, I was at the summit and in Utah, where Mike Saunders really made a big impact on me personally, because since then, all the things that he taught and everything at that summit was so powerful to me that I really try my best. Whenever I hear that Mike Saunders is speaking on something, you know, I want to listen. I want to pay attention. Part of the reason why is because he probably has, one of the reasons why is because he's got a master's degree in organic chemistry, and he's spent over a decade in the pharmaceutical industry. So I kind of call that on the other side of the tracks. Okay, so he, you know, now he has leveraged his expertise in research and innovation on that side with new product in the Unicity pipeline. So he's worked on projects with Unicity, including one of my favorites, which is the omega-3 Resolve product. So outside of Unicity and his work, he has years of training and competing as an elite power lifter. Can you imagine? In helping him gain that competitive edge that he wanted, his use of Unicity products has allowed him to set multiple national and world records. Very impressive. So without further ado, Mike, take it away.
Thank you very much, Kathy. So I'm excited because I love these opportunities to come and talk about the products. You are all well-versed in business. You're all well-versed in understanding what it means to take the pieces, put them together, grow something, and be successful. And that's a huge part of Unicity, that really is. But as Kathy mentioned, I'm a science guy. I'm at home in the lab. I love doing the work to make the products as good as possible. And that's why I love to get the chance to talk about these products. I love to use these products. I love to make these products a part of my routine and a part of my life. The last time I was on one of these calls, I talked about a product that I haven't talked about very often, and that's the cleanse products. And these cleanse products that I talked about, Paraway Plus, Nature's Tea, and Life Fiber, are a great setup for this week's call. I mentioned that those are kind of our reset button products. That's how you start the process. During the course of the cleanse and after the cleanse, the most important product that you can be taking to restart and revitalize your microbiome and your health is Probionic Plus. Probionic Plus is a little bit of a new product for the American market. It's just replaced our Probionic product. It has more different strains of bacteria. It has 11 strains of bacteria instead of 4. And this is important because the different strains of bacteria do different things. If I look at Probionic Plus, there is, just to throw one strain out there, there's a strain called Lactobacillus rhamnosus. And this is a really cool strain because it has been shown clinically not only to boost our immune system, but also to impact allergies. If we supplement with this specific bacteria, if we use it as a probiotic, it can actually reduce allergies. So there's a wide array of science behind these 11 different strains of bacteria that focus on immune health, gut health, allergies, and other areas. And if you look at microbiome, we've talked a lot about microbiome when we've talked about products like Bio7 or just immune health in general. There's so many tie-ins between microbiome and our overall health, our athletic performance, our mental health, our ability to digest and absorb nutrients, that we really need to make sure that our microbiome is healthy. That's why I said when we have that cleanse for our reset, we're kind of flushing out some of our microbiome, both good and bad bacteria going out. And this gives us a fresh, clean slate. We need to take advantage of that and start building our microbiome. So Probionic Plus is really our build product for our microbiome. We have other products that are prebiotic in nature. That's the food for the bacteria. That's our grow. That helps our microbiome grow. But Probionic Plus is our build product. here's something that's different about Probionic Plus compared to any typical probiotic that you would find on the market. One, the number of strains is high. That's a big deal because you're getting about as much diversity as you can get in a probiotic product. Another critical thing about the product is the amount of bacteria in it. We claim 5 billion CFU. That means there's 5 billion bacterial forming units per gram. So there's a 5 billion is a big number. That's a lot. And we're claiming 5 billion. We're putting over twice that many in there. We're just claiming 5 billion because that's the amount that we know there's going to be in there after years of being on the shelf. So we're very conservative in our claim. So there's a significant amount of healthy bacterial strains in there. Another key piece is the way that these bacteria are treated. There's a new coating system on Probionic Plus that was not used on Probionic. Probionic was encapsulated. Probionic Plus is quadruple coated. The reason why we switched from the encapsulated version to the quadruple coated version is because of new science that we found as we've been exploring these. So if we look at the encapsulated version from Probionic, that did a pretty good job of protecting bacteria from our stomach acid. That's about all it was good for. It would protect the bacteria from our stomach acid, which is great because we want those bacteria to be alive when they get into our intestine, where they're actually going to start multiplying and surviving and thriving in our gut. But one of the most important steps to making a probiotic actually successful is adhesion. That's the ability of bacteria to actually stick to the wall of our intestine and start growing. Bacteria don't generally just grow in space. They need to be stuck to something. They grow when they're stuck to our wall of our intestine. And the quadruple coating dramatically impacts the ability of the bacteria, once they've gone through the stomach, to attach to the intestinal wall. So not only are you getting better survival through the stomach, you're getting better adhesion to the cell wall of our intestinal lining. And that allows these bacteria to grow and to thrive and to make a dramatic impact. There's another key benefit, and this is one of the reasons why I think we need to change the label claim on this product, because we're actually giving you way more bacteria than we say we are. One of the things about the quadruple coating that's really nice is it protects the bacteria when they're still in the package. That's actually when the majority of bacteria in a probiotic die, is when they're in the pill or in the package before you ever take it. This quadruple coating protects them so that 80 to 90% are still alive after 2 years. And that's a dramatic difference between your average probiotic, where you're looking at 40 to 50% survival rate after 2 years. So we're basically doubling the dose of the bacteria by using this quadruple coating. So that's another great effect. So when we're thinking of overall health, when we're thinking of the best things that we can do to make ourselves healthy, not just right now, but long term, supporting our microbiome is one of the most important ways that we can go about increasing our overall health. This, like I said, there's all sorts of areas of our life, from our mood, our cognitive health, athletic health, or athletic performance, gut health, immune health, all associated with microbiome, associated with these bacteria that live inside of us and basically talk to our bodies and excrete molecules that our body uses for lots of different reasons. So Probionic Plus is a great product to support that healthy, functional microbiome. The other product that I'm going to talk about tonight is kind of not really related at all, but it's another one of those products that I love, because this is another product that is better at unicity than anywhere else. Most of our products are really good. I'm very proud of most of our products, but there's a handful, 20, 30 products that I'm really, really, really proud of, because they're just different and better than anywhere else that you're going to find them. And this is one of those products. I'm going to talk now about Bone Fortify. Bone Fortify is one that I have not talked about in the US ever. And the reason why, so what is Bone Fortify? Bone Fortify is basically a vitamin and mineral supplement that's specific for bone health. Why is bone health important? If we look at, as you age, what happens to our bones? They lose density over time. The mineral content of our bone depletes over time. There's foods that we eat that actually strip minerals from our bone. If we're not getting sufficient vitamins and minerals when we're younger, when we're older, we pay for it because our bones don't have the density that they used to. They're fragile, they're brittle, they break more. So Bone Fortify is one of those products that you should start taking young and continue taking for the rest of your life. If you start young, you're never going to have problems with brittle bones, with your bone, with not having enough minerals in your bone. If you haven't been taking it, but you start when you're older, you're going to have much less problems with these types of issues. So what is it about Bone Fortify that makes it great? There's a few things. The types of minerals that are in there are not cheap, low-end minerals. So calcium, for example. Calcium is a key component of bones, obviously. It's a key component of Bone Fortify as well. The form of calcium that's in there is a calcium citrate maleate. That's basically a calcium with a bunch of big organic ligands attached to it. And the reason why these big organic acids that it's attached to is important is because they help it be more soluble. If I have something like calcium carbonate or calcium hydroxide, I have minimal solubility when it gets into water. And when I have that minimal solubility, I have less bioavailability. That means my body's actually extracting less calcium out of my supplement, my food, my tablet, whatever, than it otherwise would if it was more bioavailable. So we have very bioavailable forms of calcium. The same thing would be true of magnesium. We use magnesium citrate, which is a pretty classic magnesium for these types of products. Magnesium on its own tastes terrible. Most magnesium salts taste terrible. Magnesium citrate is one of the only ones that's actually tastes good, or reasonably good anyway. And it also has good bioavailability. And for those two reasons, magnesium citrate is a key piece of this puzzle. There's a lot of products out there that contain calcium. There's a fair number of products that contain calcium and magnesium. But one thing that you need to have when you're taking calcium is vitamin D. Your body doesn't really deal well with calcium unless you're supplementing with vitamin D at the same time. So vitamin D is critical to have whenever you have a calcium supplement. And even the vitamin D is one of those things that a lot of people realize that you need to have vitamin D and calcium together. So there's a lot of supplements that have both of those. And I just want to pull back a second and just mention vitamin D deficiency is a huge thing in the United States. It's getting bigger and bigger all the time. And vitamin D deficiency is really tough to go through. It's really hard on your mood. It's hard on your energy levels. So just for the sake of the vitamin D, Bone Fortify is a great product to be taking. It's got great amounts of vitamin D, and it's really going to help just in that one area. Magnesium deficiency is another major issue. Even if we're not talking about bone health, we should be supplementing with magnesium. And this gives you a significant amount of high quality magnesium so that you don't have to worry about the lack of energy, the poor sleep, all of these other things that come with magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is one of those elements that we desperately need in our body because it's utilized in all sorts of enzymes and all sorts of reactions in our bodies. So if we don't have enough of it, we're going to be really feeling the effects of that deficiency. Now, one of the things about Bone Fortify that is a little bit more unique to Unicity is vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is, so there's a protein that vitamin K2 is responsible for. You need vitamin K2 to synthesize this protein. The protein's called osteocalcin. And this protein, it transports calcium. It's basically localized in bone tissue, and it can transport calcium in and out of bone tissue. So it's critical for our bone health. But osteocalcin also plays a role in several other areas of our health. Osteocalcin is actually a hormone-like molecule. When it comes out of the bone into the rest of our system, it can actually help with blood insulin levels. It can help balance our blood lipid levels. There's all sorts of effects, hormone-like effects, even energy levels that osteocalcin plays a role in. So if we don't have vitamin K2, not only are we not making the most out of the magnesium and the calcium that we're supplementing with, we're also running the risk of not having sufficient levels of osteocalcin in our bones that can be used as a hormone molecule, a signaling molecule throughout the rest of our body. Osteocalcin is so critical as far as bone formation goes. There's drugs that you can take, pharmaceutical drugs that you can take for increasing the density of your bones. And the way that they measure the effect of those drugs is by measuring the osteocalcin levels in your body. So this is critical for understanding bone density and understanding how your bones are building and how dense your bones are. But it's also critical for many other areas throughout your body. So those four pieces, the calcium, the magnesium, the vitamin D, and the vitamin K2 are all critically important. Then we add a fifth piece that is boron. And boron is a trace element that our body requires that the vast majority of the United States is actually deficient in. And in order to make the best use of the other minerals, the calcium, the magnesium, we need the boron. That's the reason why it's in there. All these things work together to increase our body's ability to utilize these vitamins and these minerals. And that's what makes Bone Fortify so unique. There's also a few other trace minerals in there, but those are the key pieces of the picture. So Bone Fortify, if we're worried about our vitamin D levels, which we really should be worried about because the majority of the US is deficient in vitamin D, and that's the US. The US is a wealthy country that is less deficient than most places in the world because we're wealthy. We get a lot of good food, we get a lot of food. The poorer countries, the more rural countries, more rural areas in those countries tend to have even more vitamin and mineral deficiency areas. Vitamin D is critical. It will boost our mood. It will make us feel better. It allows us to utilize the minerals that are in Bone Fortify more effectively. So just for bone health, Bone Fortify is great. Also, for the osteocalcin levels, increasing with vitamin K2, for our vitamin D deficiency problems, for our magnesium deficiency problems. Bone Fortify is a top tier, unique, unicity type of a product that solves all of these issues. I want to go back again one more time and just say, cleanse, then build your microbiome. That's how the unicity system really starts to work. You cleanse, you build your microbiome, you build it with Probionic Plus. That's how you start. You can eventually go on to other things, Bio 7, that's great, but your starting point is your cleanse and your Probionic Plus. Everybody should be doing this. Everybody should be thinking about it. And if you're worried about bone health, and you should be, because as we age, we all experience problems with bone density if we're not supplementing properly. Bone Fortify is the answer there. Thank you very much for your time. Back to Kathy.
That was absolutely fantastic. I love the way you break everything down, Mike, to make it, your scientific mind makes everything great for the layperson like myself. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just want to say that I love the new Probionic Plus. And I have always taken a probiotic. And when I was in the 90s, I was dealing with some issues, and I experimented with acidophilus and bifidus and mixed stuff up, and I made all kinds of concoctions. That was extremely helpful. So I've been a proponent of doing a probiotic for years and years. And although I loved the other one, and a lot of my clients and myself, you could tell when you take it, when I started with this new 11 strains, I tell you what, I knew right away, within days, those strains were changing my gut bacteria. So this is a great product, has a little bit of a strawberry flavor. My only challenge with this product is getting it open. It is an extremely hard product to get open. I just tell everybody, just snip the top off like that. And then I always just pour it in my mouth, which I'll save for later so I don't choke on it while I'm talking. So absolutely great product. The other thing that I just have to tell a little story to kind of go along with what Mike has to say. The Bone Fortify, if you look at the back, you'll see there's a stamp on there and it says Genome-ceutical. Okay, now Mike can do a whole thing on Genome-ceutical, and that we have some of our products that are actually, you know, take that, I'm not using the right word, but get that distinction. And when I was first introduced by a person on our scientific advisory board who advised me that it might be a good idea for me to try Bone Fortify for a dry eye, dry mouth situation I was dealing with. And I was like, why would I want to take a bone product to, you know, deal with that immune system? But I listened to him, and when it came out, he said, just give it 90 days, see what happens, see what changes. And I have to tell you, 10 days after being on the product, I'm at a TGI Fridays, and I'm sitting across the table from a gentleman with my iPad, and I'm going through a presentation with him, and I noticed that all these little droplets start coming out of my mouth. And as soon as my presentation is over, I run out to the car and I call my girlfriend. I'm like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. I was in this meeting, and all of a sudden these droplets started coming out of my mouth. And she was like, oh my God, Kathy, I'm just so sorry. And I'm like, wait a minute, you don't understand. I haven't had droplets come out of my mouth in 10 years. And in 10 days, whatever my deficiency was, Mike, it has made a big difference. So I love this product, and great product. You mentioned also prescription drugs. My gynecologist, because I'm 63 and having, you know, bone density tests over the last couple of years, she's like, you know, we're going to have to put you on a prescription for, you know, because you're losing bone. And I'm like, no prescription for this girl. And so she said, would you increase this dosage? And I said, yeah, I'll be happy to do that instead of taking a prescription. So I take 2 scoops of this every day. So absolutely fabulous, fabulous product. So everybody, I know, let's go ahead and get to what you all want to get to, which is some announcements. So first off, I just want to say that put on your calendar next week. So next Thursdays, now more than ever, on June 11th, we're going to have the honor of hearing from Jennifer Diaz. She's going to be our host. So Jennifer's great. I love her. I've seen her speak at summits, as well as I've heard her on the phone on multiple calls. So great. You definitely want to do that. So now for the good stuff, because y'all want to get into the promo, right? So the promo this week is going to be a Probiotic Plus, and a Bone Fortify is going to equal a free enrollment. So if you're a distributor, a couple of ways you can go. You can order a Probionic Plus and a Bone Fortify for either your own use or to retail it, and you will receive an enrollment that you can gift at any time to any potential future prospect or whatever. Or if you're a brand new prospect, and you can order both of those products, and you'll receive a distributor enrollment at no charge, and that is a $40 savings. So that's great. That's a phenomenal announcement, but let me tell you what's even better. What's really special about this is that we have been able to negotiate an extension of the promo for 7 days. So typically our promos are 24 hours. You know, you got 24 hours to take advantage of whatever the promo is. What's great about this 7 days is that's going to give us time to reach out to folks and help them have the time to review the information and take advantage of the promo before the deadline. So we want to thank Unicity for listening to the field. So that's great. Now, last but not least, many of you, like myself, have taken advantage of our transformation program in the past. And the great thing about the transformation program is you get to leverage the power of multiple products, but you also get that with the coaching and accountability. And for me, the transformation program really made a big difference for me over what I was doing by myself for so long and had good results. But once I had that coaching and that accountability, it made a big difference. So when you know the history of what we've done with transformation, we're pre-launching Activate Plus and Activate Pro transformations. And what we have found so far is that the results of these products have surpassed what we have experienced in the past with the previous transformation program. So they're much easier for the clients to assimilate to incorporate in their lifestyle, as well as we're just having just incredible results. So it's another great asset for all of us to add to our portfolios of offerings from Unicity. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Clayton. I want to thank Mike and everybody else who's on the call. We're all out there. We're all trying to spread the word, help people, build our immune systems through great products that are vetted and that come from a fabulous company. So everybody have a nice evening. Stay safe. And I look forward to seeing y'all on the next call on Wednesday or Thursday with Jennifer Diaz. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.